Look, for a second, turn off the music, turn down the car volume, take off your headphones if you're on the street, and listen to me carefully, because what I am about to tell you right now, you will not find in any television interview or in any Netflix documentary. Today, I am not here to talk to you about the Ñengo Flow you think you know. The one who appears on the Billboard charts, the one who fills the Choliseo, the one who gets on stage with Bad Bunny and drops Zafaera like it's nothing. No. Today I'm gonna take you headfirst into the real movie. The one that still smells of gunpowder, the one that has names that cannot be mentioned out loud because there are people who are still alive and there are graves that are still fresh. Imagine this. Puerto Rico, 2008. 2 major labels, 2 major public housing projects. Caseríos, 2 major gangs, and in the middle, 2 guys who grew up seeing dead people since they were kids. One from Bayamón and one from Palmas del Mar, one who rapped on the court while bodies dropped, and another who arrived on a yacht but earned respect with pure lead. And suddenly, boom, a beef that started over $3,000 ends up with more than 40 real drug lords bijotes, voicing tracks, entire public housing projects splitting in 2, and people dropping like flies over an indirect line. This was not an Instagram beef, my brother. This was a war that almost split the island in half. And at the center of all that, a single man who achieved the impossible, making the very people who wanted to kill each other hug on stage in front of thousands of people, and the same hitmen gatilleros who were killing each other shake hands, and from that same blood and that same lead, the phrase that everyone shouts today without knowing what it really means was born: Real G for life. Today you are going to walk with me on the same sidewalks that Edwin Rosa Vázquez walked when no one knew him as Ñengo Flow yet. You're gonna be there when they put him on stage for the first time at 13 years old. You're gonna be there when they stopped him with Percocet and Xanax. You're gonna be there when the first bullet was fired because of a song. And you're gonna be there the night the heaviest piece the Puerto Rican reggaeton movement has ever seen was signed. And I'm warning you right now, when this video's over, every time you listen to En las noches frías, in the cold nights, you are going to feel a chill, because you will already know exactly what cold nights he was thinking about when he wrote that song. So if you're ready for the truth without filter, without censorship, and without fear, stay until the end. Because this is not just another video. This is the story of the only guy who managed to make the entire street shut up and respect him forever. Press play, turn up the volume, and get ready to know the true story of Ñengo Flow, one of the most important figures in the urban genre in Puerto Rico. Before starting, if you haven't done so yet, go subscribe and like this video. You can also hit the bell icon to always stay up to date and not miss anything that's coming. The kid who grew up seeing death in HD, Bayamón, late 80 seconds, early 90 seconds. The public housing project, Caserío, is on fire. The organization of Angelo Millones, the famous buster, has the drug spots, puntos full. The UN, Los 70, Millones family, or whatever you want to call them, controls everything from Virgilio Dávila to the hottest sectors. And in the middle of all that fire, Edwin Rosa Vázquez is born on the 15th of October 1981 in Rio Piedras. But life quickly takes him to Bayamón, to the housing complex where the sun burns, where metal sparks, and where learning to run fast is more important than learning to read. Imagine the young Edwin, skinny, spiky hair, broken flip-flops, walking among drug spots, watching how the big guys in the Caserío stand on the corner with guns tucked into their waists. He's not even 10 years old, and he already knows what it's like to hear gunshots at 3 in the morning. He already knows what it's like to see a friend playing Nintendo and the next day see him in a coffin with his face covered because there was no face left to show his mother. And even so, in the middle of all that hell, the kid has an escape. Music. Salsa Brava plays in the house all day. Héctor Lavoe, Ismael Rivera, Chamaco Ramirez thundering in the carport. But the cousins arrive with cassettes of Bicosi Tempo, of the first underground music recorded in dark rooms. And that's where Edwin gets hooked. He starts writing in school notebooks, on pieces of cardboard, on the walls of the Caserío bathroom. He writes about what he sees. The hitmen who earn their daily bread, the mothers crying at wakes, the friends who end up on the other side over a badly sold gram. At 12, he is entered into a school talent show. The principal looks at him strangely because the kid wants to rap. But Edwin stands up, grabs the microphone, translates an American track into Spanish, and boom, the place goes crazy. That day, Edwin understands 2 things. 1, that the microphone weighs more than any gun, and 2, that when he raps, people shut up and listen. And that, in a caserío where no one listens to anyone, is worth gold. At 13, they already put him on stage in the Caserío itself. People record him with Nokia cell phones, with digital cameras that look like bricks. And there is the skinny kid freestyling while the grown-ups look at him with respect. And right there they give him the nickname that would accompany him all his life, Ñengo Flow. Because when he gets on stage, ningún flow, no flow, can reach him. No one improvises like him, no one. And that's where everyone starts saying, that kid is gonna go far. But the street doesn't let go that easily. The street marks you. The street teaches you that if you want respect, you have to earn it every day. And Edwin understood that quickly. That's why when he raps, it's not a pose, it's a testimony. Every bar he drops is something he saw with his own eyes, lived firsthand, or was told while smoking a Philly on the corner. And on that same corner, in 2003, he meets Michelle Martel. She sees him rapping at a Caserío event and keeps staring. He is still living the full street life, he still doesn't have a penny, but she looks at him and sees something different. They fall in love. A year later, they are already engaged. And she will be the only woman who will be there when they stop him with pills. When they stop the war, when he feels the choliseo, and when everyone turns their back on him. Michelle is the only one who knows the real Edwin, the one who cries in silence when he remembers the friends who were left behind. Because even though he becomes Ñengo Flow, even though the whole world screams his name, for her and for those who saw him grow up, he is still Edwin, the skinny kid from Bayamon who rapped while bodies dropped and who never forgot where he came from. And so the real story begins, the one no one tells you completely, because there are still people who prefer this to stay in the Caserío. But today you and I are going in together. Are you ready? Because this has just begun, 2004 to 2005, from the street to the Univision contract. 2004, Edwin is 23 years old and has been rapping for years in all the caseríos of Bayamon. One day a friend records a demo for him in a home studio. 4 improvised tracks, no choruses, pure raw verse. That demo starts circulating from hand to hand, from car to car, from corner store, colmado, to corner store. It reaches the ears of people at Univision Music Puerto Rico and they don't think twice. They call him and say, come to the office tomorrow. Ñengo shows up in flip-flops and a sweaty t-shirt, still smelling of the Caserío, and they put the contract in front of him. They sign him that same day. The first thing they do is put him in Héctor El Father's production, Los Anormales. The track is called Tu cuerpo me está tentando, Your body's tempting me, along with Aguacate. The video comes out and Puerto Rico's paralyzed. People start repeating Ñengo's line like a mantra. On the street they no longer say, listen to that new guy. They say that's Ñengo Flow, the one from Los Anormales. 2005 is total madness. They put him in Sangre Nueva, New Blood, with Guerrilla, presented by Julio Volteo in person. Volteo takes him on stage at the awards and tells the audience, this is the next one who is gonna break. And he breaks. Then they call him for Don Omar's Los Bandoleros and give him the track Ella Baila Sola. She dances alone with Woman and Treble Clan. The video comes out and Ñengo is already rubbing shoulders with the greats, but the heaviest part comes on the 6th of December 2005. At 24 years old, he releases his first official album, Flow Callejero, Street Flow, 14 tracks of pure fire. Collaborations with Don Omar, Baby Rasta, Polaco, Cuban Link, Volteo. Univision promotes it with an infomercial that looks like a movie. Don Omar appears in a car talking on the cell phone saying, that's my soldier, that's Ñengo Flow, listen to him. Cuban Link also comes out backing him. The tracks that hit hardest are Aunque no estemos juntos, Even if we're not together, Hasta que te lo hunda, Until I sink it into you, with Polaco, and Se formó el bembe, the party started, with Don Omar and Cuban Link. The album sells like hotcakes in corner stores, in cars, in clandestine clubs. On the street they start saying, that kid from Bayamon is here to stay. But the problems also begin, because the street doesn't let go that easily. And even though he now has a contract and an album on the radio, Ñengo is still the same person who grew up seeing lead, and that will never leave him. 2008, the war that almost ended everything. Ñengo is already signed with Full Records, the company of Shaga and Makey. Cosculluela is with Rottweilers Incorporated and Rising Fast. They used to be friends, they respected each other, they recorded Somos de Calle remix with Daddy Yankee and Arcángel. Ñengo even invites Cosculluela to his mixtape El Combo Que No Se Deja, the crew that doesn't give up, and they record a track together. Everyone thinks they will keep adding hits. But greed breaks the deal. Full Records is putting together the collaborative album Armados y Peligrosos, Armed and Dangerous, and they want Cosculluela in. They pay him $3,000 for an exclusive track Cosculluela records it, but says it's not enough money and decides to leak the track himself. Dime con quién andas. Tell me who you hang out with. The song spreads like wildfire. Full Records burst into flames. The next day, they send Ñengo to the studio and tell him, drop a diss track now. Ñengo doesn't think twice and releases Hablando a la espalda de mi madre, talking behind my mother's back. 5 minutes straight to the chest, without anesthesia. Cosculluela doesn't keep quiet and responds with Rip Full Records. But he doesn't respond alone. He brings in more than 40 real voices of heavy street drug lords. Pata from Quintana, Correa Boy, Goyo, Cascote from La Perla, Chespi el Dientón from Villa Kennedy, Broco from Las Monjas, M. El Mago, leader of Los Lobos, Gavilán from Jail. Even Pata himself opens the song saying, you know we are the crew that is not seen. Ñengo hears that and goes crazy. He calls his producer Champi and in less than a week releases 3 diss tracks in a row. Tiraera pa' Cosculluela, Tiraera pa' Coscu number 2, and Tiraera pa' Coscu number 3. And he brings in equally heavy voices. Marcian from Bin Laden Records, right-hand man of Angelo Millones, Bebo Cegüeta, Muñequita, El Williador, Sosa Gucci Prada, leader of Los Trinitarios. Even El Mejor del Mundo, Chino Valencia, comes out talking. The island splits in 2, Bayamón versus Humacao, Breal G versus Rottweilers, Full Records versus Rottweilers Incorporated. In the forums of the time, Puerto Rico en D, reggaeton sin censura, people talked about nothing else. In the caseríos, you couldn't pass through wearing the rival gang's cap anymore. If you were from Quintana and passed through Virgilio Davila, you got killed. If you were from Bayamón and they saw you in Las Monjas, they pulled you out of the car. The war stopped being musical and became real. People were dying over an indirect line, over a like on Facebook, over a WhatsApp status, and in the middle of all that fire, Ñengo stands firm and says, I'm not playing, this is real G4 life. And the street believes him. Because he's not acting like a gangster, he is the gangster who decided to sing The Deaths That Forced Peace and The Night That Changed Everything. 2009, 2010, 2011. The war is still hot, but heavy pieces begin to fall. Vivo Cegüeta is killed in Bayamón and they find $5,000 on him. Chino Valencia, El Mejor del Mundo, is killed in 2009, and that breaks Angelo Millones UN forever. Chinito Valencia, the son, is killed in 2013 at just 18 years old. Ñengo and Arcángel dedicate a song to him. Muñequita is killed. Correa Boy is found dead in a car in Reading, Pennsylvania in 2015. Goyo is killed in 2017. The death toll goes up and up. The street begins to tire. The drug spots are affected, the businesses are affected, mothers cry too much. The same bijotes who voiced the diss track start saying, this has to stop, and then what no one expected happens. They organize a historic party in the Virgilio Davila Caserío, 100% Ñengo Flow territory, Real G territory. They fill the place with security, but not police, with people of respect from both sides. Arcángel, De La Ghetto, Yomo, Joel and Randy, Ivy Queen, Mexicano 777 go up on stage, and suddenly Ñengo comes out, and Cosculluela comes out. They look at each other, they shake hands, they hug tightly in front of thousands of people, the entire caserío goes crazy. Ñengo grabs the microphone and says clearly, this is not out of fear, nor because anyone forced us. This is out of respect for the fans, out of respect for those who fell, and to stop dividing the crews on the street. There are no winners or losers here. There is respect. That night, the Real G4 Life label is officially born as a company. Ñengo registers it and begins to sign those who will be the next kings. Anuel A.A., Darrell, John Zed, Jai Cortez, El Dominio, all under the flag that was born amidst lead and sealed with a hug. And there, in Virgilio Davila, all of Puerto Rico understands that Ñengo Flow is not just another singer. He is the only guy who managed to make the entire street shut up, put down their guns, and respect him forever. Subscribe if you like the video, because this is getting heavier and heavier, and this is just starting. 2011, the mixtape that took Real G4 Life to the whole world. The 14th of May 2011, Puerto Rico wakes up different. Ñengo Flow, after the peace signed in Virgilio Davila, decides it is time to release what he had been cooking for years, the first official mixtape under his own movement. He titles it simply Real G4 Life. It is not a studio album. It does not have a major label behind it. There is no $1 million promotion. But when it comes out, it explodes, as if a bomb had dropped. The impact is immediate. The main track, En las Noches Frías, becomes a street national anthem. The video is shot with a low budget, but the chemistry is brutal. His wife Michelle appears, the caserio appears. His lifelong friends appear. People play the track in cars, in carports, at wakes, at weddings. By August 2022, that video already had more than 130 million views on YouTube, and today it has much more. But most importantly, the phrase Real G for life stops being a song lyric and becomes a lifestyle. That same year, Daddy Yankee calls him personally and says, "Come, we are going to record something historic." The result is, Llegamos a la disco. We arrive at the club. A track released in September 2011, alongside a bunch of monsters, Farruko, Arcángel, Baby Rasta, and Gringo. Kendo Caponi, De La Ghetto. The song is so hard that to this day, the reggaeton veterans play it and say, this was real reggaeton. With the success of the mixtape, Ñengo does what no one expected. He legally registers Real G for Life as a record label and begins to sign artists. The first to join is Darel, then Anuel AA when he was still in the street, then John C., Jai Cortez, El Dominio, all with the same flag, Real Gangster for Life. The entire street understands the message. This is no longer a singer with a label. This is a movement that was born in the caserío and now controls the music. Are you still not following me? If the answer is no, take a moment to do so if you are enjoying the video, because what is coming now is even heavier, and this is just warming up. 2012 to 2014. The empire grows and the blows don't stop. 2012 starts with Gasoline. On January 7, Ñengo drops Real G for Life 2. 17 tracks of pure fire, collaborations with Gotay, Tego Calderón, Arcángel, Julio Volteo, Yomo. The album enters directly at number 7 on the Billboard Latin Rhythm Albums chart. Puerto Rico's Paralyzed Again. The tracks that hit hardest are Sigue Viajando, Keep Traveling, Primero Queda, First Remains, and Cuando Me Dirá, When Will She Tell Me. But Ñengo is not satisfied with just one project a year. On October 23 of the same year, 2012, he releases Real G 4 Life 2.5. 13 more tracks, collaborations with Alexis, Fido, Galvarez, Gotay, Ñengo York, and Yomo. The album is so strong that within hours it is positioned among the top 10 bestsellers on iTunes Latin America. The tracks that break the internet are Mano Arriba, Hands Up, Haciéndote el Amor, Making Love to You, and especially No Dice Na, She Doesn't Say Anything, which by August 2022 already had 170 million views and keeps climbing. Without promotion, without an official video, the song Tu Me Tientas, You Tempt Me, goes viral throughout Latin America. People upload it to YouTube with photos and the song explodes on its own. That same year, in September, Michelle gives him their second son, Marcos Alexander Rosa Martel. They are now 2 boys, Kevin Yadiel, 2007, and Marcos Alexander, 2013. Ñengo uploads photos with his children and says, "This is the only thing that really matters to me." Alucinando, Hallucinating, with Janae comes out. The track is so hard that everyone thinks Real G 4 Life 3 is coming right away. The rumors begin, the reggaeton pages go crazy, the fans do a countdown, but the project is delayed. Ñengo says in interviews, when 3 comes out, it will be when the street is ready, and the street waits. Because they have already learned that when Ñengo says something, he keeps his word. 2015. Return to the roots with Los Reyes del Rap and European Tour, the 17th of March 2015. After years of promises, Ñengo finally releases the collaborative album with his usual producers, Sinfónico and Onyx, under the alias Los G4. They title it Los Reyes del Rap, the Kings of Rap. 14 tracks that are a total return to the roots. Raw rap, without auto-tune, without soft perio, pure street verse. The production was 100% handled by Los G4. Heavy collaborations, Joel, Randy, De La Ghetto, Polaco, and many more. The tracks that hit hardest are Haciéndolo, Doing It, En Mi Cama, In My Bed, Corta y Pa' los Medios, Curan for the Media, Seguimos Ofreciendo, We Keep Offering. Del Velorio pasan de los Toros, People Say Ñengo is Ñengo Again. The album feels as if a time capsule from 2005 had been opened and mixed with the street of 2015. That same year, something historic happens. Daddy Yankee invites him to the King Daddy Tour European Tour. From July 11 to 20, 2015, they tour Spain, Italy, Switzerland, Germany. Ñengo goes up on stages full of Puerto Ricans who hadn't seen him for years. In an interview, he says, "It is an honor for me to have been part of that tour and to be able to share with an artist of the stature of Romeo. I feel super happy to be able to take my music to other places." In November 2015, he signs a digital agreement with Pandora Radio to program exclusive content. Midway through the year, he appears on Wise and DJ Luyan's production 14F, with the track Periódico de Ayer, Yesterday's Newspaper, alongside Jory. And in October, he drops a killer verse on Afrontemo Porque Podemos, Let's Face It Because We Can, alongside Daddy Yankee and Yandel. The track resonates throughout Latin America. On the street, there is no longer any discussion. Ñengo Flow is not just another artist, he is the king of Puerto Rican street rap, and no one takes the crown from him. And while all that was happening, things were also changing at home. Ñengo was a father of 2 boys, Kevin Yadiel, who was born in October 2007 and was already 8 years old, and Marcos Alexander, who arrived in September 2013 and was still a baby. Michelle Martel, the same woman who met him in 2003 when he didn't have a penny in his pocket and was living the full street life, was still there, firm as a rock, 2016 to 2018. From Dials to the Pac Choliseo, the definitive leap. 2016 starts, and no one stops Ñengo anymore. A new kid from Ponce named Bad Bunny calls him and says, "Cabron, I need your verse on a track of mine." That track is called Dials, Tell Them, and comes out with Ozuna, Farruko, Arcángel, and Lenny Tavares. Ñengo's verse is so hard that people start saying, that guy is still the most street in the game. The track explodes and becomes one of the first dirty trap songs to break globally. The 10th of February, 2017. After years of waiting, Ñengo releases Real G4 Live Volume 3, 22 tracks. A mix of old reggaeton with new trap. Heavy guests: Arcángel, Ozuna, Bad Bunny, Farruko, Darel, Brian Myers, Anuel AA. The album goes straight to number 1 on iTunes Latin America and stays there for weeks. Tracks like Hoy, Today, 47, Maldita Suerte, Damn Luck, Sigue Viajando 2, Keep Traveling 2, and Mi Estilo de Vida 2, My Lifestyle 2, become anthems. People say, Ñengo didn't sell out, he evolved without losing the essence. Angry, July 2017, Latin Times releases the list of the richest reggaeton artists of the moment and puts Edwin Rosa Vázquez in the top 10 with $8 million net. The street goes crazy. The kid from Bayamón is a millionaire and is still the same guy. But the street doesn't forgive. In March 2017, in Caguas, in the early morning, he stopped with his uncle and his barber. They find an ounce of marijuana in the car. The prosecutor orders them to stay in the cell until the morning. Ñengo had a show at 1 in the morning and doesn't make it. The fans go crazy outside the Coliseum. The next day, he is released, uploads a photo with Michelle and the kids, and writes, "Nothing brings me down. Real G for life." Anuel AA, already signed to Real G for life, calls him for Yeezy. The track comes out, and within weeks surpasses 200 million views. The chemistry between the two is brutal. People start saying they are the 2 most street ones left alive. And then the day that all of Puerto Rico dreamed of arrives, March 2018, Ñengo announces his first solo concert at the José Miguel Agrelot Coliseum of Puerto Rico. Tickets sell out in hours. On the night of the concert, the Choliseo is absolutely packed. Luxury guests go up: Anuel AA, Farruko, Chencho Corleone, Tito el Bambino, Baby Rasta and Gringo, Jory, De La Ghetto. Ñengo closes with En las noches frías and the entire audience cries. The concert is so epic that in 2019 he is nominated for Concert of the Year at the Premios tu Música Urbano. The street says, "The king has reached the throne." 2019 to 2020, The GOAT, and the verse that broke the internet. A new kid named Kevo releases 105F and decides to put the hardest rappers in the remix: Farruko, Mike Towers, Arcángel, Darel, Sech, and Ñengo Flow. When the track comes out, everyone agrees on the same thing. Ñengo ate everyone up with his verse. People repeat it over and over. "I'm the bastard you wanted to die, but I'm still here." The remix surpasses 500 million views on YouTube and becomes the street anthem of the year. November 2019, Ñengo drops La Prisión, The Prison, with an official video. The track is dark, raw, talking about jail, betrayal, the street. Everyone understands that something big is coming, and they are not wrong. The 15th of May 2020, The GOAT comes out, 12 tracks, black cover with a white goat, collaborations with Anuel AA, Jay Cortez, Darel, Rauw Alejandro, Mike Towers, tracks like Sur y Norte, South and North, La Prisión, Donde, Where, Tranqui Funky, Fuego en el Fuego, Fire in the Fire, hit brutally. The album goes straight into the Billboard Latin Top 10 and stays there for months. People say Ñengo has crowned himself as the baddest. That same year, something historic happens. Bad Bunny calls him for his album YHLQ-MDLG and gives him 2 tracks, Zafera and Que Malo, How Bad. Zafera becomes the most viral song on the planet in 2020. Ñengo's verse in Zafera becomes a meme, a trend, popular culture. People who had never heard old reggaeton now repeat bruh, bruh, without knowing that Ñengo invented that sound 15 years ago. That same month, Anuel AA puts him on his album Emmanuel with the track Antes y Después, Before and After. July 2020, Ñengo releases Vive y Deja Vivir, Live and Let Live, with Alejandra Guzman. The track crosses borders and even Mexico plays it full. 2021 to 2023, the Rimas contract and the collaboration reign. 2021 starts strong. Mike Towers calls him for Burberry and the track explodes. Chencho Corleone puts him on La Llevo al Cielo, I Take Her to Heaven, and the song enters the global Spotify top in less than 3 months, quickly surpassing 100 million. Ñengo starts the year with Seguimos Aquí, We Are Still Here, with an official video, releases Crimen Organizado, Organized Crime, mid-year also with a video, and closes the year announcing Gato de Noche, Nightcat, with Bad Bunny. 2023 is total madness. Ñengo is everywhere. Cochinay Remix, with Juliano Sosa, King Salvaje, and Ryan Castro. Baby Father 2, with Yom Chimmy, Mike Towers, Arcángel, and Jerusa. Peso a Peso, Pound for Pound, on Eladio Carrion's album 3 Men 2 KBRN, alongside Quavo and Rich the Kid. Peliculio Remix, with Casu, De La Ghetto, Randy, and Justin Quiles. Mid-year he drops Escándalo, Escándal, with an official video and surpasses 180 million views. First collaboration with Fade on the album. More, No Le Temas a la Oscuridad. Bro, Don't Fear the Dark, with Gangsters y Pistolas, Gangsters and Guns. He appears on Bad Bunny's Nadie Sabe Lo Que Va a Pasar Mañana, Nobody Knows What Will Happen Tomorrow. With Acho PR alongside De La Ghetto and Arcángel, he closes the year on Baby Rasta and Gringo's album The Hunting with Dinero Fácil, Easy Money. And then the bomb arrives. Late 2023, Ñengo Flow signs with Rimas Entertainment, Bad Bunny's own label. All of Puerto Rico goes crazy. In October, De Aquí Pa' Allá, From Here to There, comes out with 1 million views in days. He releases La Cone Remix with Conep and C Dobleta, Aplicándola, Applying It, and Fast Money with Mike Towers, drops a killer verse on Haptismo with Britiago and C Dobleta, and closes the year announcing Puesta Pa'l Perreo, Ready for the Grinding, with Wisin and Yandel. The street says, Ñengo is not in his prime. Ñengo is the prime. 2024 Real G 4 Life Volume 4 finally arrives and the legacy is sealed. After more than 10 years of waiting, after thousands of comments, after people said this will never come out in 2024, Ñengo Flow releases Real G 4 Live Volume 4. The trilogy that began in 2011 closes in style. The album comes out and all of Puerto Rico is paralyzed again. The tracks are pure street fire mixed with the maturity of a man who has already seen everything. Jail, death, betrayal, fame, family. People cry listening to the album because they understand that Ñengo is not talking about fantasy. He is telling his whole life story in bars. For Ñengo Flow, Real 4 Life is more than a movement. It is a feeling, it is a family. He is proud to be part of this community that continues to grow day after day. And so, with Real G 4 Life Volume 4 out, Edwin Rosa Vázquez closes the circle. From the Bayamón Caserío to the Pac Choliseo, from lead to platinum, from hatred to respect, from fear to legacy. Real G 4 Life, Until Death Do Us Part. And there you have it, my brother. From a Bayamón Caserío, where gunshots were the daily alarm clock, to filling the Puerto Rico Coliseum with his name on the giant marquee. From a skinny 3-year-old kid who stood on an improvised stage for the first time with a half-broken microphone, until he closed the trilogy in 2024 that the street waited for over a decade. From when they stopped him with 46 Xanax pills and 73 Percocet, until he signed with the most powerful label of the moment, Rimas Entertainment. From when the entire island split in two over a diss track that started over $3,000, until he himself was the only one who managed to make those two sides hug on stage in front of thousands of witnesses and sign the biggest piece the Puerto Rican reggaeton movement has ever seen. Edwin Rosa Vázquez is not a singer who plays a gangster. Edwin Rosa Vázquez is the gangster who decided to sing, and when he sang, the entire street shut up to listen to him. Real G for Life is not a record label. Real G for Life is not a song lyric. Real G for Life is a brotherhood that was born among bullets, grew up among the dead, was sealed with a historic hug in Virgilio Davila, and remains alive today because there are still people who would rather die than betray. And that man you saw in the old videos, with the flip cap, the thick chain, and the gaze that doesn't waver before anyone, that same man is the one who sits down at night with Michelle and his two children, Kevin Yadiel and Marcos Alexander, and tells them, all of this is so that you never have to go through what I went through. That's why when you listen to En las Noches Frías, it's not just a song, it's the testimony of someone who saw his friends fall and remain standing. That's why when you listen to Zafaera and hear brr brr brr, it's not a joke, it's the signature of a guy who invented that sound when you and I were still in diapers. That's why when you listen to Real G for Life 4, you are going to feel like you are listening to the Bible of the Puerto Rican street written in bars. Ñengo Flow did not reach the top. Ñengo Flow is the top. And if this video moved your soul even a little, if it gave you goosebumps, if it made you remember that friend who is no longer here, if it made you feel proud to be Puerto Rican even though life has given you hard knocks, then do me a favor. Share this video with that friend who still thinks reggaeton is just beautiful, perio grinding. Leave me in the comments what your favorite Ñengo verse of all time is, and if you can, upload a story to Instagram with this video and tag someone who needs to hear this story, because we are not telling tales here. Here we are telling the truth of the street, and the truth always weighs more. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Thank you for respecting the history. Thank you for keeping the legacy alive. Subscribe if you like the video, hit the bell icon, and get ready, because the next story will be even heavier. Real G for life until the day I die. Blessings to everyone, and see you on the street. Peace.